So good morning, and another. Actually, it's not raining today, so I'm going to go out for a nice walk after this and clear my head because I woke up with a massive migraine this morning. The evil hormones are playing tricks on me today, so I am delighted to have today's guest join me. And through social media again, it's somebody that I've met and found out all about, and we've got lots of things in common. And one of the reasons why I wanted to set up Out of the Bubble in the first place was to share all these women that have reinvented themselves later in life, and we don't get the right kind of media attention represented in the right way. So this is my way of highlighting some of these amazing women. So I am delighted today to be joined by Lynne Coates. I'm just going to introduce you to her. Good morning, Lynne.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's lovely to meet you on here.
Yeah, it's nice to actually meet you and have a chat after the social
Hello.
media.
Yeah, it really is. And have you had it? Because I know that one of the things during lockdown was you really missed your grandchildren and you've just caught up with them this week, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been really hard. It's what, 4 months since I've seen them, and they don't live near me. They live in Wales. So the first opportunity we had to travel, then they came up and stayed with me. So yeah, I've had a week of a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old boy. So I'm a bit frazzled to say the least.
You need a week off now.
Yeah, and I've at least a month to recover. Yeah. And
So,
decorating the house and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been fun.
so,
It's been
so
good.
actually, lockdown, you've actually kept yourself pretty busy.
I have actually. Yeah, it's amazing. I've been I still keep up with all my travel stuff. So I've been, going through work and I still had some writing to catch up on, and yeah, various things I've been trying to do just to keep the creative juices flowing, kind of thing, and not get stagnant.
Yes, yeah. So you kind of reinvented your career in your mid 40s, didn't you? So how did you get the inspiration to decide to go back to university and retrain?
Yeah, well, I got married quite young, so I didn't really have much of a career. Though I was in media. I did work for Yorkshire TV when I was younger, so I did kind of get the media bug. But yeah, I got married, then I had my kids and didn't do much, and then I started a fashion business from home. Actually, that was my first thing, and I did that for probably about 5 years, and then I just sort of thought I'd had enough of it, really.
Mm.
And It's one of those sort of stories where my husband bought me a camera. We went on a safari holiday. It was actually an special anniversary holiday, and I absolutely loved taking the photographs and everything. And then my husband said, "Oh, why don't you do a photography course?" So yeah, started the course at Park Lane College in Leeds, and that was actually a GCSE. So I
Mm.
sort of kept it quiet, and I just potted along with it just because that was the course that was available, and I got a good grade. And my tutor said, "Well, why don't you go and do a degree?" And I said, "What?
Yeah.
I haven't been to university, and the thought had never even entered my mind. But I thought, well, why not? What's
Yeah.
to lose?" So yeah, and enrolled at Bradford College. I did a BA.
So how old were
Absolutely.
you at that point?
47.
Right.
Uh, yeah, 47.
Brilliant.
And yeah, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was kind of hard being a mature student in some ways because I think you get a bit of resentment from younger ones sometimes. They sort of look at you as if, why are you doing this kind of thing.
Mm.
But yeah, it was fine. We managed it, and I loved all that, the student life that I hadn't had, and going to the pub
Yeah.
and all that with the boys. It was great, great fun. And then yeah, I really got into it, and my tutors, when I finished my degree, said, "Why don't you go on and do an MA?" And I thought, well, okay, why don't I? So just another challenge. And I didn't want to stop. I was enjoying it too much. So I then went on to DMU in Leicester and did an MA. And it was more of a photojournalism um, degree in a
Mm.
way. And so that kind of, I got my degree, and then it led on to various other things work-wise. So a
I think it's
journey of
just
exploring.
amazing. I think it's really amazing. Did you when we were younger at school, did you have this creative streak? Is this something that you've kind of refound, do you think?
No, definitely not. When I was at school, the only thing I was ever interested in when I was younger was horses. It was just
Right.
horses, horse riding. I had horse riding. Then I met my husband, and we got married. So that was it, really. There was never any. I never had any huge ambitions other than to sort of have a family and get married. And it was only really, I suppose I was young. I didn't really sort of start growing up until I was a bit older, if you know
Mm.
what I mean.
Yeah.
And then once I started at uni, it was like it was just eye-opening, and I just became very hardworking, actually. I didn't realize I had that in me to do it, and
Mm.
yeah, really got into the projects and the creativity of it all, and just loved it. Absolutely loved it, and yeah, kept going.
So once you'd finished the courses, and then it's the reality is, okay, you've got to make this into some kind of profession.
Yeah.
How easy did you find that getting work straight
Um,
afterwards?
it was really kind of one thing leading into another. You know, it's I think it's often like that with people. You just one thing, you start one thing, and then you find you like to do something else and something else. During my degree, I'm trying to think how it happened. Yeah, when I was doing the BA, part of my that you have a sort of professional part of the degree to do,
Mm.
and I went to help a friend of mine started a magazine in Spain, like a celebrity magazine, and he asked me to do the photography for him.
Oh,
So
brilliant.
yeah, so I became a sort of paparazzi kind of photographer, and I loved doing portraits at that time, so I did a lot of shoots, proper shoots with celebrities,
Mm.
which was great fun. And I think that kind of being a bit more mature helped, because I wasn't sort of starstruck by them.
Yeah.
I wasn't, I just worked with them. They just became friends. And I really like that. And I like the fact that my images were published.
Mm.
And so that was good. And then when I went on to do the MA, I went into more serious work. So I was very interested in doing documentaries, and at that time I was very interested in cultural things. And I ended up, well, I don't know, it happened with my degree. Yeah, I ended up doing projects in Israel with Palestinian and Israeli children, peace
Oh
projects.
gosh, but that was really interesting.
It was very interesting, and I was got involved in a teaching project with helping children to communicate through the use of the cameras. So the kids were given cameras, and we followed each other around, and I documented what they did, and that actually became an exhibition.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, it ended up traveling around the UK. So yeah, it ended up. I mean, it was in Lincoln Cathedral. It was in the most amazing places,
Mm.
because I don't think people had seen this kind of work before, and it made people think a bit about how kids can communicate, often better than adults in some ways, through creativity and
Yeah.
culture things. So yeah, that was very interesting. I did that. I actually had an Arts Council grant to go and work. I spent a month in the Middle East working. And then what did I do after that? Yeah, I came back. I've had a few career changes I have to think about. So I came back, and then yeah, I love to do travel photos always. That
Mm.
started out doing that, and my travel photos. I suddenly had lots of things, and started traveling. And I thought, well, I'd like to get these published, but just giving an editor travel photos really didn't do it. So I had to start writing. I
Mm.
started, and I sort of married the two, the travel photos and writing together to produce travel features. And then
Did you do further study in the writing, or did you just was it something that just came naturally, or did you go and do
uh,
courses on that?
I think that developed through university. You
Yeah.
have to write a thesis.
Mm.
I'd already done a lot of theses and projects and
Mm.
submissions projects and that kind of thing. So the writing just developed, and the love of travel, and it just developed really.
Mm.
So I produced a complete package of, which is in a way still quite a bit unusual, to do the writing and the photography for a
Yeah.
feature. Because a lot of travel writers just do the writing,
Right.
and they are supplied with photographs or something like that. So I started, actually, I think the Yorkshire Post had a magazine called Absolute Leeds, and I did the travel for them for quite a while.
Mm.
And sadly that folded, and then yeah, just various lifestyle magazines after that, and that's where I'm still up to.
I mean, you
So
actually seem to me that you've done more in sort of from 47 to now than you have done career-wise when you were younger. You seem to have
I,
packed a lot in.
yeah, definitely I did. I think, I had the kids, and then I didn't they sort of left home, and I hadn't had the chance to do those things. And then yes, I just got really excited with the work, and I'm just not one for sitting down and staying home. And I love meeting my friends for lunch, but that isn't doesn't satisfy me. I need to do something. I need to work. I need to be busy. Otherwise, I don't know. I feel miserable if I'm not working or doing
Yeah,
something.
yeah, I completely relate to that. Along the way, have you felt, because quite a lot of women talk about this imposter syndrome where they're full of self-doubt and they worry about what they're doing. Going into it later in life, did that give you a different level of confidence?
Oh God, I always felt like that.
Right.
Always. Because first of all, I'm not technical, very technical. So the camera to me and all the technology, I mean, when I started, we were darkroom printing films and everything else. It was actually a very interesting time because digital literally just came in at that time.
Mm.
So we were all as students going, no, we're not going to go digital. We won't like it. We will film and everything. But of course, it did completely change. By the end of the course, Kodak had stopped producing film
Mm.
or paper. Anyway, so yes, to go back, the technological stuff, I was hopeless at. I just, the idea of developing films. I was very good at printing, but not all the technical stuff. So yeah, I doubted that I was good enough, and I'd say to my tutors, I can't manage this, and they turned around and they would say to me, look, you can know fantastic technology and know how to use your camera, but if you haven't got an eye for a photo or how to take it or how to compose it, you'll never be a photographer. And
Mm.
don't worry about the technological things. Set your camera on auto or whatever, and just take the photo. And that's
Mm.
how I went through. So I did feel an imposter always. And even to this day, if people say, how do you do this or how do you that? I say, I'm not good on the technology. Ask me another question.
Yes,
So
but you've done it though, and you've mastered it, whether you enjoy
I
it
would
or
say
not.
I struggled, muddled my way through. And I felt very much an imposter in that sort of way. Yes. But yeah, somehow I managed the way through. And yeah. So I'll give you
So,
lots of advice on how to do the journey and what to do and all the things that you might face, particularly as an older woman. You
mm,
know, there is sometimes, I mean, particularly like these days, I don't feel it, but it's if I'm on a press trip, and a lot of the journalists are usually younger than me,
mm,
I have to keep up. And I do keep
mm,
up. They're full on press trips,
mm.
you're in different hotels every night, you're packing, unpacking, up early in the morning, out, and I'm always ready, working, often the first down. And I feel that I have to try that extra bit harder because I'm
Yeah.
older. I don't know if you can
Yeah,
relate
I
to
can
that.
relate to that. And do you think, is it still quite a male orientated business as well, or is it more balanced now?
No, not in travel journalism. No, probably on press trips, there's more women than men, I
Mm,
find. Yeah. So yeah, it's no, I would say it's quite equal,
yeah.
really.
Because you've got no signs of slowing down at all, have you, Lynn? You seem to
No,
really
I
just,
don't want to. I don't
yeah.
want to. The age thing is sort of caught up with me big time because, well, yeah, you probably know that I turned 70 this year. So that was a bit of a milestone for me because I've never thought about my age before. Literally, I've just gone from one thing to another. And yeah, I know I'm getting a bit older, but it hasn't really stopped me. It's just the sound of that number.
Mm.
And I thought when you read about people that 70, you think, oh no, I don't feel like I'm that old person of 70. I just want to do something else and something else. So
Brilliant, and keep doing that because you don't. But the thing is, though, I think our generations have changed now. I don't think so. I don't think of 70 as old. And I think, when I was younger, my grandparents, when they got to 70, that would have sounded old. But I think 60 and 70-year-olds are doing so much more now and getting out there in life and doing loads of different things that I don't think 70 is old anymore. I don't think it's seen as old.
I agree, and I think as long as you're healthy and you keep yourself fit, and
Hmm.
just keep going. I think it's what goes on in here that counts.
Yeah.
So if you just keep that sort of young thinking and always doing things, and in some respect, I'm probably busier than my daughter is.
Hmm.
She's a creative person, but
Hmm.
I'm probably at this stage working at. Well, she's got young kids now, but I don't. It's only when I sometimes pull myself up Yeah, sometimes I've been doing a lot and I get tired. Like if I'm
Mm.
on a press trip and we've done a lot in the day, and when I say a lot, they're full on.
Yeah.
You're from one thing to another to another, and it'll get to the end of the day and we've had dinner and a few glasses, and then a lot of the group will go for another drink, and at that point I'll say good night. I'm off
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
because I know
Fair
I've got to
enough.
do it early in the morning. So yeah, there are times, but I can party with the best of them.
I'm sure you can. So what about, let's talk about travel, because obviously we've all been in lockdown and we're all desperate. We know lots of people have had to cancel holidays and not be able to go to their favourite places this year. When will you, work-wise, when will things start kind of getting easier for you?
I think things are picking up. I'm a member of the British Guild of Travel Writers, so I'm constantly sort of in touch with them and what's going on in the travel world. And people are getting back and traveling. I think still there's a nervousness about flying and going
Mm.
on planes, and also what's open to us in the countries when we get there. But quite a lot of people have already started traveling again.
Mm.
I'm going to probably wait a bit longer before I start flying, but I'm looking at sort of September, October,
Mm.
hoping to think about going. I mean, press trips tend to go a bit quiet in the summer anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, so probably around about October, November, I think they'll be starting again. And yeah, I'm ready to get back out there. But I just came back from a press trip just before lockdown. In fact, it was all going on, and it was a very uncomfortable feeling to be traveling at
Mm.
that. It was sort of, you were anxious, and
Yeah.
all the time I was listening to this news and everything getting worse and worse and worse. So I
Mm.
would like to feel more comfortable traveling. So I'll
Yeah.
probably wait a bit longer, but I am
Yeah.
itching to,
I bet you
absolutely.
are. And what
Desperate.
about some of your favourite places?
Yeah, I'm always being asked that.
I bet you are.
It's one of those questions that is more and more difficult to answer, really, because um, I don't really have favorite places. I can tell you that a press trip to Australia was fantastic, and I
Mm.
absolutely loved Queensland. That was a couple of years ago. I love Italy, Tuscany. I love Spain, Andalusia, and areas like that, and I love visiting those sort of places. But you go somewhere and you think that's fantastic, and then you go somewhere else and that's lovely and that's lovely. There are so many great places. It's hard to say what is a favorite place.
Yeah.
Uh, some places really get me, and other places I think, yeah, it's okay. I've been there. I've done that. I don't need to
Mm.
see it again.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one. I'm sorry I can't be more specific
No,
about.
no, I completely understand that. There's so much to see out there, isn't there? That
Yeah,
we're kind of,
I do get very excited by new places, and that's what really keeps me going. I
yeah,
can even to just a new town and get my camera out, and I'm really excited to see what there is there and find things. And I think being a photographer as well, you see things, you really look at things. You see architecture, and you look up and down and around and take it all in, and it's a wonderful thing to do. And yeah, I'm very happy I found that in my later life.
well, yeah, exactly. That's what I absolutely love about you. The fact that you found this new passion later in life is just such an inspiration, and what a great role model. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and I can't wait to have that lunch once we've got through this. It'll be
Yeah,
lovely to
can
catch
I
up again.
just say, Rachel, I'm also very impressed by you. I think
Thank
what you're
you.
doing is fantastic, and I know you've had a bit of a journey as well. So yeah, we must have that coffee and have a
Yes.
good together.
Yeah, brilliant. You are on social media, aren't you? So if people want to see your photographs and some of your work, where can they find you?
Yes, it's Lynne Coates photo, hashtag Lynne
Right.
Coates photo on
Brilliant.
Instagram. So
I'll
that
write
would be
that
lovely.
with it. Fabulous. Well, enjoy the rest of your day and recover after your grandchildren. I'm sure you've
Yeah,
got lots of tidying up to do after them.
I will be. I'll be spending a bit more time with my dogs as well. So yes, thank you.
Lovely. Well, pleasure to speak to you and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much, Lynn.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
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 Well, that was fabulous, and that just makes me want to go off travelling even more now. But really inspiring to talk to Lynn this morning. I'll be back tomorrow for my last one of the week, and tomorrow I'm talking to Karen Cummins, who is actually the founder of Simply Ladies. So I'll be talking to her about how she supports and empowers other women. So have a good day. See you tomorrow.